What's crack-a-lackin'? I hate myself. The awkward intros continue. They continue along. So we have some really, really good news. I need to stop laughing. We have some really good news with the Paycheck Protection Program. The applications have received yet another complete facelift to allow more and more people to apply with the quick application, the application that only takes like 5 to 7 minutes. So I'm going to cover everyone who can now apply using the more inclusive rules, receive more money under the gross income rules. A whole bunch of the barriers have been knocked down. So I recorded me going through the entire application just so I can see every single step by step myself and explain some criteria along the way. So first, starting with the changes, then we'll hop into the application, the 5-minute PPP application that you can apply for and get this darn funding as soon as possible. All right. So the changes that we're seeing right now, it now supports all loan types, whether this is your first draw loan, your second draw loan, and you can also apply for first and second draw at the exact same time. So all three of those options, you can now use the fast lane product, which I'm going to explain in a bit. Increase the estimated loan amounts based on gross income. This is both changed for the fast lane product for everyone, which has already been the case, and the normal application. This is now changed gross income. I've seen it with my own eyes. You can now use gross income if for whatever reason you still can't qualify for the fast lane. The regular application isn't that bad, but now you can still use gross income. Also, more businesses are now eligible under the calculation rules. I'll talk about that a little bit more later. Applicants who receive the EIDL loan can now use the fast lane product as well. Originally, that just wasn't built into the system quite yet. Now it is. You could always have received that EIDL advance and used fast lane, and you still could have done the regular application either way, but it's now in the fast lane, which is like the quickest way to apply. I know some people are still saying this thing's not that quick. Unfortunately, I'm doing the best I can to be the intermediary between all these people applying and the people processing these loans and doing everything I can. I know they're doing everything they can. Most people's applications are going through relatively quickly. Some people are, there's just delays. We have to remember that these systems are being built and updated on the fly. We're using a program that was literally finished less than 24 hours ago. So there might still be some hiccups, but I digress. Anyways, we also have better documentation requirements. So in the past, Fastlane only lets you use 2019 tax returns. You now can use 2020 tax returns, which is super exciting because if you earn more money in 2020, you want to use your 2020 return because you're going to receive a much larger PPP loan. And now you can use that 2020 return on your Fastlane application and get this funding through quicker than anywhere else. Now you still can use the regular application through the same link below if for whatever reason you still can't use the Fastlane. Okay. Now hopping into the application itself. Let's go over here. So like I said, I screen recorded myself just going through the application, just trying to do basically a dry run of the application. So I'll kind of pause it and give context where there needs to be context. This thing's only 2 minutes and 45 seconds long for me to go through the screen record. So we can see here, in order to use the fast lane, it has to be just you. You work for yourself, no employees. If you have multiple employees, you still have to use the regular application. They've gotten better and better at the regular application, so that one's still not that long to do. It might take you 20, 25 minutes as opposed to 5 to 7 minutes. So it's really not that bad. Moving on from here, we let me click this on the screen record. You just put in your basic information. I just skipped over that. Now you need to certify these 5 things: that you have a U.S. mobile phone number, your social security number, you have a U.S. bank account that you can access online. So this is one thing that I've seen people be potentially wary about, is you have to use the service Plaid, where you log into your bank account through this encrypted third-party service. Feel free to Google them. It's PLAID. If you don't feel comfortable with using them, you can still use the regular application. You just click down here, apply without Fastlane if you don't want to have to log into your online banking. You also have to have a IRS Form 1040, including at least a Schedule C or Schedule F. Most people will be Schedule C in 2019 or 2020, so you now can use your 2020 tax return, and you have to have a complete PDF of your tax filings from 2019 or 2020. If you don't have that complete PDF, if you have it printed out, you can use a scanner or one of those scanner apps on your phone. If you just go to your app store and search scanner app, you can scan it that way. Or if you have an accountant who did it, they should be able to send you a PDF. Or if you use like TurboTax, you should be able to download some kind of PDF and upload. I did this in my dry run, and I didn't have any issues personally with the upload or anything like that. Now, moving on from here, we're just going to click all these boxes. Come on, let's see you click them. Come on. It's a recording, so I can't speed it up any more than however slow I was going at the time. All right, from here, it verifies your email. It sends you an email, you click the link, you're verified, it says verified, then you verify your phone number, it texts you a phone number, you enter in the verification code. I'm sure you've done that before on various other things. And there's always the live chat support down here if you need to ask various questions. After you verify your phone number, you just hit next there. Now this is what to expect. You enter in your basic information, enter in your tax information, your social security number, your date of birth, the date the business was established, and the DBA if you have one. If you don't have one, don't need to fill that in. Then you just click submit there. This is just the totality, using big words, of all the steps here. Moving on from here, this is just some certifications. If you've gone through the app in the past, these are the same certifications on any PPP app. Is it a franchise? Within the last 5 years, have you had a felony charge? Things that, just read through them. You'll know if it's a yes or no. For most people, you'll be able to just hit confirm. Now there's one more certification that U.S. is the principal place of residence for the owner of the applicant and all the employees. So in this case, it's just going to be the owner because you can't use this application if you have employees. Again, you have to use the regular application if you have employees, which isn't a big deal. Don't be scared of the regular application. All right. Did the applicant receive an SBA economic injury disaster loan between January 31st, 2020 and April 3rd, 2020? So that is a very small window, and nearly no one received the EIDL loan in that period. Like, the program was barely even out. So just about every single person will be able to hit no here. Most people didn't even know about the EIDL program at April 3rd. All right, you hit no. Is the applicant or owner of the applicant an owner of any other business or have common management, including a management agreement with any other business? So this would be like if you have a contractor business that's just you and you own 50% of some LLC, and that LLC also applied for a PPP, you'd have to hit yes and put in some basic information about that other LLC. We're just doing a dry run here. So that was just more certifications of the next steps. All right, do you want to provide demographic information? You don't have to. I just click skip. It's just the steps again. Now this is where you connect to your bank account using that PLAID service or PLAD, however they say it. Again, if you don't want to use this service, if you don't trust it for whatever reason, you can use the regular application and you can just use your routing number and account number. If you are questioning their legitimacy, Google them. That's all I got to say. So you can see you just log into your bank account this way. And then we go to the next steps again. And this is where you upload your tax documents. Preparing your tax documents, you'll need the following: an IRS 1040 Schedule C or Schedule F. So this whole application is only for 1040 Schedule C or Schedule S. If you have like a S Corp, you're going to have to use the regular application. If you have a partnership, you're going to have to use the regular application. So something to consider. Still, a lot of people will have to use that regular application. This is just for 1040 Schedule C. And again, it's the same link below to do both. Identifying the right tax documents. Look at the top left corner of the page of your tax document page for your Schedule C or Schedule F. If you're on your computer, you can probably just do a little Control F to search and then type in either gross income to, bring you directly to your gross income line, or Schedule C, and it'll bring you your Schedule C on your tax document so you don't have to scroll through the whole thing. Double check this before uploading. Do include all pages of your 1040 Schedule C and or Schedule F. Do provide complete forms of your 2019 and or 2020. I know a lot of people watching this will use their 2020 because this just changed. And don't upload documents other than the ones requested. Excuse the double mouse, that's a little awkward. All right, now you just upload your document. Simple enough. Upload successful, you hit next. Awkward silences. That's the next challenge. Awkward silences, not just awkward intros. All right, did you provide one or more 2020 Schedule C? So I actually did this step wrong the first time because you're gonna have to hit yes to one of these. Did you provide one or more 2020 Schedule C? In my case, for this dry run, I just hit yes because I used the 2020 tax return. If no, you'll be able to click 2019 later. So you do yes, and then you enter in your gross income from line 7. Again, you can do like a Control F and search gross income if you can't find it on your tax return. You enter in that amount there. Did you provide one or more 2020 Schedule F? That is only if you're a farmer. So yes, I am a farmer. So I'm guessing a lot of people click that not knowing what a Schedule F was. Did you provide in 2019? And then ask the same thing for the farmer for 2019. So you just hit yes to the whichever form you end up using. What best describes you? Self-employed, independent contractor / 1099 worker, or sole proprietor. If you're not sure, this isn't going to be a determining factor whether you get this loan or not. Just choose the one that you think most applies to you, but don't stress out about it too much. Okay, your business type, same goes for this. Get as close as you can, but basically what this is doing is pulling your NAICS code based on whatever type of business you run. But if you don't know exactly, or if you can't find exactly, just click whatever's closest. Don't stress out about it too much. The only reason they ask this is because restaurants receive slightly more. So if you're a restaurant, make sure you have, a restaurant or, food industry. Very few industries receive more through this program, so it really doesn't matter for 98% of people. Have you received the PPP loan before? Yes or no? Then this is where you get to choose whether you're going for the first draw, the second draw, or both. So if you've already received the first draw, for instance, then you would just apply for half of whatever whatever your amount is. And again, it's going to be your gross income, your total gross income from either 2019 or 2020. Divide that by 12, multiply that by 2.5. That's how much this should be in each of these. So you can multiply that by 2 if you haven't received a PPP yet, because you can get this twice. It's very exciting. And we are almost done here. Now you're just certifying a few more things. Legal disclaimer, complete application, and submit. Boom, you're good to go. That is, oh, look at that. That smiling face. And it's that easy. So I'm really excited about the changes here. Again, if you've already applied so one thing to mention about this, it says you will receive notification within 24 hours of applying. Don't believe that. Do not believe that. Chances are it'll be longer than 24 hours. It might be a week or 9 days because of all the applications are flooding in here. So just expect that to be longer. Also, make sure you are checking your junk or bulk email folder, because sometimes people will receive their documents and they go into the bulk folder. But all in all, we have to remember, we have to be somewhat patient here, because these lenders are creating these systems on the fly, and most of the processing time is on the SBA end. For instance, I applied for my PPP loan on the very first day it came out. The lender sent it to the SBA about 10 days later, and it sat at the SBA for a month and a half before I received it. And there's nothing a lender can do about that. It's just at the SBA. So feel free to ask any questions you have down below, and I'll do my best to address as many as I can, and also help each other if you know an answer and you can help someone else. Yeah, that's going to do it for today. I would like to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a profitable day.